Good day everyone! My name is Rachel Soriano from BSCD2B. So, ngayon po ay ating aalamin ang Chapter 11 which is Back to Calamba in 1887 to 1888. After 5 years in memorable sojourn in the Europe, he returned to the Philippines in August 1887. So, kaya siya bumalik sa Philippines kasi para ipaglaban yung Pilipinas laban sa mga friars or sa mga bad friars na inaalipin lang yung mga Pilipino. Decision to return home. Rizal was warned by Paciano's brother, Silvestre Obado, his brother-in-law, Incoyer, also known as Jose M. Cecilio, and other friends not to return home, but he did not heed their warning or he didn't listen to them. So, after ng publication ng libro na sinulat ni Rizal, which is yung Noli Me Tangere, ay umubo ito sa mga anti-Filipino. So, he was determined to return to the Philippines for the following reason. So, first is to operate in his mother's eyes, Grupo Patara. Second, to serve his people who had long been oppressed by Spanish tyrants. And third, to find out for himself how the Noli and his other writings were affecting Filipino and Spaniards in the Philippines. Kung ano nga ba ang impakutod sa kanila, diba? So, pang-apat is to find out why Leonor had remained silent. So, we all know that Leonor Rivera was Rizal's first love and Maria Clara character on the Noli Me Tangere. So, delightful trip to Manila. Rizal left Rome by train for Marseilles, a French port which he reached without mishap or accident happened. So, on July 3, 1887, he boarded the steamer Jemha. So, Jemha is a French cargo passenger ship. So, there were about 50 passengers including 4 Englishmen, 2 German, 3 Chinese, 2 Japanese, and many Frenchmen. So, we all know that Rizal knew many languages kasi diba, umikot siya sa buong mundo. And, kaya, ang nangyari ay siya ang nagsilbing interpreter sa kanilang grupo upang sila ay lubos na magkaintindihan. At Saigon, on July 30, he transferred to another steamer, Typhoon, which was Manila. So, next is the arrival in Manila. In August 3, 1887, the moon was full and Rizal slept soundly the whole night. The calm sea illuminated by the silvery moonlight was a magnificent sight to him. So, dahil nga sa ganda ng tanawin na nakikita ni Rizal ay nakatulog siya ng mahindi. So, on August 6, he arrived in Manila. So, nakating si Rizal sa Manila ng August 6 ng alas 9 ng gabi. Pero, sa halip na umuwi sa Calamba, sa kanilang hometown ay hindi muna ito siya umuwi. Bagkus ay bumisita muna ito sa kanyang mga kaibigan. So, pagdating niya sa city ng Manila ay natagpuan niya na ganun pa rin yung itsura ng Manila. Since nung pag-alis niya ng Manila 5 years ago. The next is Happy Homecoming. So, on August 8, 2 days after his arrival in Manila, he reached Calamba. Sa wakas, pag-uwi niya, nagkita muli sila ng kanyang pamilya. So, nagkwentuhan sila at nabanggit din niya ang kanyang paglalakbay. Ngunit, ang kasiyahan ay biglang naudlot na mapagtanto nila na nanganganib ang buhay ni Rizal. In Calamba, Rizal established a medical clinic, which is ang kanyang unang pasyente ay ang kanyang nanay na si Doña Teodora, na may katarak. So, the operation was successful at dahil kumalat ang balita na successful ang operation ng kanyang ina, marami ang nagtungo sa Calamba galing pa sa malalayong lugar para magpagamot. So, si Rizal ay tinaguri ang Dr. Lehmann dahil siya ay galing sa Germany. Ang kagandahan pa nito ay affordable ang fees para magpagamot kay Rizal kasi even ang mga mahihirap ay kakayanin ito. Pero unlike sa mga medical practitioner, si Rizal ay hindi lang niya inuubos ang oras sa paggamot. Nagbukas din siya ng gymnasium para sa mga kabataan at tinuro sa kanila ang European sports. Gusto kasi ni Rizal na magkaroon ng interes sa mga kababayan niya sa gymnastic, fencing and shooting at hindi ang pag-aaway at sugal lang ang kanilang gagawin. So after 6 months in Rizal, sa Calamba ay nagsuffer din siya at yun ay ang dahil sa hindi nito nakita man lang si Leonor Rivera. Storm over Denali. So, a few weeks after his arrival, a storm broke over his novel. One day, Rizal received a letter from Governor General Emilio Terrero to come to Malacanang. So, nung nakarating na siya ay sa Malacanang, si General Terrero ay nagtanong kung mayroon ba siyang extra copy kasi curious din siya, si General Terrero kung ano nga ba ang nilalaman ng libro dahil sa kanyang mga naririnig. So unfortunately ay wala ng ibang copy pa si Rizal dahil ang huli niyang libro ay binigay niya sa kanyang kaibigan. Pero pinangako din naman ni Rizal na magtatabi ito ng isang kopya. But in the end, nakakuha rin si Rizal ng kopya sa kanyang kaibigan which is sa mga Jesuits professor niya noon. Rizal visited Father Francisco Sanchez, Father Josebek, and Father Federico Faura. So he had a spirited discussion with them about the Noli, and Father Faura ventured an opinion that everything in it was the truth, but added, "You may lose your head for it." Kaya nasabi ni Father Faura ito dahil ang nilalaman ng libro ay tungkol sa mga hindi magagandang gawain ng mga Spanish friars. So, Rizal's life was in jeopardy or in danger because the friars were powerful for security. You're powerful. So, for security, he has signed Spanish Lieutenant Don Tavil de Andrade as bodyguard of Rizal. So, the Archbishop of Manila Messenger Padre Payo, a Dominican, sent a copy of the Noli to Father Rector Gregorio Echevarria of the University of Santo Tomas for examination by a committee of the faculty. So, based sa report ng faculty na members sa University ng Santo Tomas, ang librong Noli ay heretical, impious, or harmful, and scandalous to religious order, anti-patriotic, subversive of public order, injurious to the government of Spain and its function in the Philippines Islands, in the political order. So in short, ang librong Noli ay hindi kaaya-aya ang mga nilalaman dahil sa ating bansa noong mga Spanish friars pa ang namumuno dito. Novel sent to the Permanent Commission of Censorship, which was composed of priests and laymen. So, dahil hindi satisfied si Governor General sa Dominican, ay binigay niya ito o pinasa sa Permanent Commission of Censorship. So, the report of this commission was drafted by its head, which is si Father Salvador Font, isang Agustinian curas in Tondo. At nakita niya na ang librong Noli Mitangari ay naglalaman ng paninira mula sa Church and Japan. So, dahil sa nakita niya sa libro ay tungkol sa paninira, nag-recommend siya na hindi na dapat umikot pa sa iba't ibang lugar dahil ang libro dahil nakakasira kaya ay giband nila ang libro. Pero dahil sa pag-publish ni Father Font ang libro about sa Noli Me Tangere ay sumikat ito at marami ang naging curious sa libro. So, ang ibang mga tao ay pumupislit na lamang para mabasa nila yung librong sinulat ni Rizal. Dahil curious din sila kung ano nga ba ang nilalaman ng librong sinulat niya. So, the next is the attackers of Noli. First is si Father Font. Ayon kay Father Font, ang librong Noli ay balak na sirain ang Church and Spain secretly. So, si Father Jose Rodriguez Prior of Guadalupe published in 1888 a pamphlet entitled Kaiingat Kayo or Beware. So, si Father Rodriguez ay isa rin sa umatake sa librong Noli at binabalaan niya na kung sino man ang na magbabasa ng librong Noli Me Tangere ay magiging makasalanan higit pa sa nilalaman ng libro. So, pangatlo ay si Spanish writer Vicente Barrantes. So, another attacker of Noli. His bitter criticism of the novel was published in Madrid newspaper, which is the La España Moderna in January 1890. So, the next is the defender of Noli. First is si Marcelo H. Del Pilar, writing under the pen name Dolores Manapat, published a pamphlet entitled Kaiingat Kayo as an answer to Father Rodriguez Kaiingat Kayo. So, ang ginawa ni Marcelo H. Del Pilar ay similar sa libro or sa title ni Father Rodriguez, pero iba lang ang meaning. So, the title Kaiingat Kayo ay panuloko lamang ni Del Pilar para makapag-take advantage si Del Pilar kay Father Rodriguez. So, ang totoong meaning kasi ay be as slippery as an eel. So, the next is another attacker is Reverend Vicente Garcia, a Catholic priest, scholar, a Catalogian of the Manila Cathedral, and a Tagalog translator of the famous Imitation of Christ by Thomas Kempis. So, Father Garcia, writing the pen name Justo Desiderio Magalang, wrote the defense of the Noli, which published in Singapore as an appendix to pamphlet dated 1888. So, he blasted the arguments of Father Rodriguez as follows. So, first is the Rizal cannot be an ignorant man as Father Rodriguez alleged, because he was graduated of Spanish universities and was a recipient honors. So, second is that Rizal does not attack the church and Spain as Father Rodriguez claimed. So, because what Rizal attacked in the Noli were the bad Spanish officials and not Spain, and the bad friars and not the church. So, kasi diba, based sa report ni Rodriguez, ang pinapatamaan ni Rizal ay sa librong Noli ay ang Church and Spain. But hindi naman talaga at iba lang ang pagkakaintindi ng iba rito. So, Father Rodriguez said that those who read the book is commit a mortal sin. Since Rodriguez, had read the novel, therefore, he also commits a mortal sins. So, ito sinabi or ang opinion ni Father Garcia sa mga paratang kay Rizal sa kanyang libro na Noli. So, after naman nalaman ni Rizal ang pagdepensa ni Father Garcia kay Rizal, which is naiyak talaga siya sa tuwa dahil sa wakas may nag-defend sa kanya mula kay Barrantes at tumpak ito sa mga paratang na inaakusan niya kay Rizal. So, dinipensahan din naman ni Rizal ang sariling novel mula kay Barrantes. So, in a letter written in Brussels, Belgium, in February 1819, he exposed Barrantes' ignorance of the Philippines of affairs and mental dishonesty, which is unworthy of an academician. So, yun lang po ang report ko. Thank you for listening.